How to cut a 360 flay. Welcome to my page, my fellow fashion designer. My name is Favor. In today's videos, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to cut a 360 flay. So this is the easiest way of cutting your 360 flay. If today is your first time of coming across my video, please do well to subscribe to my channel and then hit the notification bell to always be notified whenever I upload any video. The first thing you're going to do is determine the length of the flay that you are working with. Then divide your hip measurement by 6 and add it to the length of the flay. For example, I have about the flare I'll be working with, the length of the flare I'll be working with is 10 inches. Then I divided my client's hip measurement by 6. Then I cut about 5.2. So 5.2, adding it to the 10 inches, it will give me 15.2. Then 15.2, I'm going to add it like 15.2, like 15 plus 15.2 plus 15.2, making it 30.4. So I'll be cutting out 30.4 here. After cutting it out, I'm going to fold it again. So let me still break it down. You're going to fold your fabric by 4. So to make a 360 flay, you're going to fold it by 4. But before folding it, you have to determine the length of the flay that you're working with. Then you cut it, you mark it, and then cut it out. After cutting it out, you are going to fold it again, so making it into 4. That will give you a 360 curve cutting. So I'm going to be cutting out the 5 inches. So I'll still measure the length of the fabric, the length I have here, to make sure that everything aligns. Then I'm going to start marking out 5.2 inches. So I'm just going to mark out 5.2 inches round the fabric, just like you see me doing. I'll mark it round like this. After that, I'm going to connect the lines. Then after connecting these lines, I have to measure round to know if it really gives me exactly what I want, and then it is just exactly the waist of the client. Then the next thing, now from there, I curve the line. I'm going to start marking out the length of the flay that I'll be working with. So I'll mark 10 inches round the flay. So I'll mark 10 inches round the flay. Then after marking it, I'm going to connect the lines together. So while curving it, either you use your freehand curve to just do it, or you use your curve rule to connect the lines. Then if you're making your own double or like 2-step flay, 3-step flay, you still use this method to cut it out. But the difference here is that you're going to reduce the length of the remaining steps. So if you're working with three steps, after marking the full length of the flay, then the second step you're going to reduce it by 2 or 3. Then the last step or the fourth step, you just reduce it just like that, depending on the length that you're working with. Then the next thing you're going to do is to cut it out. So while cutting it out, make sure that you leave about 0.5 inches for your sewing allowance. So this, I'll be using these inches to join it, and then the other downside, which is here, I'm just cutting out, I'll be using it to join the lining. Then this my flay is a 2-step flay. I'll be using the second one, this one, to cut out the second flay. but I'm going to reduce it by 3 inches. So the difference between the first flare and the second flare will be 3 inches. Then I'll be using the fabric I have here is a doll face, that is bridal material. So a doll face, I will still be using the material, the doll face, to make my lining. So I will use it for my lining. And both the first flare and the second flare, I bought about 3 yards of this material to enable me get exactly what I want. So if you still want to use lining for your own, you can still use it, or buy a bell lining or ordinary lining, you can still use it. But I prefer using the bridal because to give it a different look after sewing it. Then this is the lining that I'll be cutting out now. I'll still use the same method I used in the main fabric. Remember that I said you're going to divide your hip measurement by 6 and then add it to your actual length, the actual length of the gown, the actual length of the flare that you're working with. Then after cutting it out, this is what I have. This is the first flare and the lining, and then I'm going to place the second flare. This is the second flare and the lining. This is all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share, like and comment. And then if you find this tutorial very helpful, please comment and make a review on my comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my page, please, and then hit the notification bell to always be notified whenever I upload any video. And don't forget, if you feel or have any difficulties in cutting, you can still drop it on the comment section, and then I'll make a video on it. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.